Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. If you want 2 free stocks, click on the link down in the description box and Webull is going to give you 2 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. Deposit at least $100 in that account. You're going to get 2 free stocks that could be valued up to $1,850. So after the video, I want you guys to go to the description box, click on that link and get that free money. In today's video, I want to talk about why the rich don't pay any taxes. So I was a wage earner or a salaried guy for 25 years as a commercial banker. I've been a business owner for 1 year. I started my business in January of 2020. So the perspective that I'm going to give you today is from someone who has been on both sides of the coin. See, in the United States, the majority of personal income taxes are paid by people who earn a wage or a salary. Most of the folks that own businesses can reduce the amount of personal income taxes they pay because of some of the advantages a business owner has. If you have questions around what you're doing, speak with your CPA or a tax strategist to get all your questions answered. I'm just going to be giving you guys what my opinion is why the rich don't pay taxes. Well, let's start with personal income from wages or salary. So for 25 years, I worked for someone. I was an employee. And I would say for 13 of those 25 years, I was making a good 6-figure salary. But I was also paying a lot of personal income taxes. I didn't have any way to shelter myself from not paying it. You know, when I got my money from my employer, they had already taken the taxes out. And I found myself a lot of times at the end of the year, I even owed more taxes. Now, I certainly tried to deduct as much as I could to try to offset that income. You know, I owned real estate, I did a few other things. The problem is the tax code is not set up for a personal wage earner to really be able to offset a lot of their earned income. It's just not set up for that. Whereas on the business side, what I've found by being a business owner for 1 year, there are a lot of opportunity to deduct or expense certain things that I could not deduct and expense when I was working for somebody. When I got into business for myself in my first year out, I made more revenue as a business owner than I made in income as a salaried employee. Why did I pay less taxes as a business owner on more revenue than I paid as a salaried person working for somebody? Let's use this as an example. When I was working for someone, and if I had to go meet a client for lunch, and when the bill came, I would take the bill and I would pay for it with my credit card. I couldn't take that lunch expense and deduct it from my salary so that it would reduce my taxable income. I couldn't do that. Now, my company could certainly say, hey, Richard, give us this receipt and we'll reimburse you. But I could not reduce my taxable income, my salary income, by that dollar amount that it cost me to pay for that lunch. See, on the business side, I can. So I take that same client now to lunch and I own my own business. Whatever that lunch cost me, because it was business related, I could deduct that expense from my business revenue. In turn, reducing my revenue, therefore potentially reducing what I would pay from a tax standpoint because my revenue is smaller. It's been reduced by that amount that that I had to pay for the lunch. Let's say I drove to that lunch meeting as a salaried employee of my company. I drove my car, my personal vehicle, I drove it to the lunch meeting, and it was a 50-mile round trip. And I had to buy gas in order to do that 50-mile round trip. So that gas cost me money. Again, I cannot take the expense of that gas and deduct it from my personal salaried income. I can't do it. Now, my company may reimburse me through mileage. They may say, well, okay, Richard, you drove 50 miles. Go ahead and write that up and submit that to us, and we may pay you a certain dollar amount per mile. And in this case, let's say it's 50 cents per mile. Then that $25 potentially could be reimbursed. Now, all companies don't do that. Some companies, that's just your expense. But you can't write it off against your personal income. Whereas on the business side, that 50 miles round trip and the gasoline I had to pay for in order to do that 50-mile round trip through the business, I can categorize that as an expense against my revenue. That's the beauty of being a business owner, because our tax code in this country really is set up for people who own their own businesses, right? As I started understanding that, I started thinking about, okay, now I get it. Now I get why a lot of my clients really pay no personal income taxes. And the reason being is because all of their conveniences in their life were paid for by their business. So they had no incentive to take a salary from their company. My business did more revenue than I was making as an employee, right? But I paid less in taxes because I did not have to take a large salary from my business. As a salaried person, that six-figure salary was it. That's what I got taxed on. See, in my business, I take a small salary, right? So therefore, when you look at my personal income, it's very small. And I can get away with that because most of everything I do, like I said, all of my conveniences are taken care of and paid for by my business as an expense. So therefore, I don't have to take a bunch of salary. And that's why the rich don't pay much in taxes, guys, is because they're not an employee of their company. They're an asset of that company, an asset that actually generates revenue. And see, with our tax code, if you are an asset of that company and you generate revenue, guess what? You can also expense all the activities you had to do to generate that revenue. Therefore, you reduce your personal income tax because you don't have to take as much in salary to do the necessary things, the convenience things that you normally would have to do to live. Because a lot of that stuff is paid for by the business. So now I don't take a six-figure salary. I take a very, very, very small salary. But the revenue I generate from my company is more revenue than I was making as a salaried employee over here and being taxed a lot more on it. So that's one of the benefits of being a business owner. If you structure it properly, you pay less in personal income taxes. If you want those 2 free stocks, click on that link below. Webull is going to give you 2 free stocks when you open a Webull brokerage account, put $100 in it. They're going to give you 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. Guys, click on that link, open that account, and get that free money, man. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel, share the video, smash that like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness, never stop believing in yourself, and I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Peace.
Today's video is sponsored by my company, RF Financial Consulting. And in my company, I work with individuals just like you through financial mentoring and coaching sessions. And in those 1-hour sessions, we talk about strategies to help you get to your financial freedom. whether it be through real estate investing, stock market investing, creating additional streams of income, credit card arbitrage, or starting and growing a business. If that's something that you might be interested in, there's an email address in the description box of the video. Send me an email and let's discuss if I'm the right fit for you.